Taking control of the car buying experience. Demand the most for your money. Here's the Car Buyer Advisor.
This is a first visit on TCBA TV. It is an absolute privilege to introduce you to Jim Hunting, the president of Sierra Pacific Federal Credit Union. Jim, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mitch. It's a privilege to be here.
I've been trying to have you on as a guest for a long time already. And the reason why, Jim, is a personal choice. As an individual in the industry for many years, I've supported your credit union because of the quality of service. It's old school. The days when people could go in and talk to their banker, they still exist at Sierra Pacific Federal Credit Union.
Well, thank you, Mitch. That's we do have kind of a saying. We like the personal service, the small feel, but big service. We have everything that any financial institution offers. We're getting into mobile banking and all that, but it's a small feel. It's the personal touch.
Well, and the history of Sierra Pacific Federal Credit Union is impressive as well.
Yeah, we've been around, most people don't know, we've been around, we're the oldest, I think, ongoing financial institution in the state, been around since 1936, so hopefully that says something. I haven't been there that entire time, but it's been very nice. And the last 13 years, when I took over, we have grown quite a bit, and we're now actually in several cities. We have a branch down in Las Vegas, and we're down in Phoenix, and we have 3 branches here in northern Nevada, and we've been growing at a fast clip. Not through a lot of advertising, just word of mouth mostly.
Well, and the one thing I think our community will be pleased to hear as they get to know you is that you're accessible to anybody in any state. And in many cases, credit unions have a charter that you have to belong to a specific group to join, but you have a pretty well open possibility.
It's generally people can join us. We are a federal institution, which means we can cross state lines, and we do serve about 32 companies here in northern Nevada, Arizona, and Las Vegas, but most people can find a way to join us. Yes.
You had made a quote, you were one of the first guests on one of our first radio show interviews, that it's always stuck with me about your commitment to our community. And you talked about people being prepared and informed.
Yeah, and a couple things. One is just about our community. We have been very involved in downtown redevelopment, and I have to say, and I just attended a meeting today with people from outside the area talking about how they are just blown away, how looking at downtown Reno, and that's been one of our kind of specialties that we concentrated on, between the baseball stadium, between people moving in, there's a new vibrancy here, between Apple moving in. It's just there's a new feel about northern Nevada, and it is really on the upswing. The next 10 years is going to be very exciting.
Well, and the quote specifically was, the more prepared, informed, and educated a consumer is, the better choices they'll make. And that's what Sierra Pacific Federal Credit Union stands for and has stood for decades, almost 3/4 of a century or better. I want to talk real quick about people and protecting their credit scores while shopping for financing. This is an example of your giving to a community the information and knowledge.
Yeah, this is I think very important. And it's even more important the younger you are. But protecting your credit is absolutely vital, and it's not something to ignore. Just a quick example: if you, let's just say, get a vehicle loan, and you have good credit, you're going to get a 72-month loan at, let's say, 3.25% interest. You get the same loan, you have bad credit, and let's just say it's at 16% interest. I don't think you get 16% at our institution, but that's not uncommon. You're going to be paying $2,300 more per year with the higher interest than you would with the lower interest. Now turn that around. Invest that $2,300 which you saved for 35 years at 5% interest. You would have $207,000 at the end of that. So what's maybe a small difference, something a lot of people ignore, can make big differences over a long period of time.
And one of the things that I love about Sierra Pacific Federal Credit Union is they can avoid that shotgunning credit technique of shopping for financing and excessive inquiries by coming to you.
Good point, Mitch. That's, and that's very common because, of course, we see people going out shopping, for instance, for vehicles, and there's a couple. Shotgunning is when they're sending it out to a lot of different financial institutions, and that affects your credit. And the other side of it is when you have when you're asking for credit from a lot of different places. You may be doing credit cards, you may be looking at a house, you may be looking at a vehicle. When you have lots of inquiries over a period of time, that also affects credit. So those two things, shotgunning and the credit.
And if they
point.
come to Sierra Pacific Federal Credit Union directly, you give them one inquiry on one of the 3 bureaus.
Yes, yes.
Well, thanks for joining us today. That's Jim Hunting, President of Sierra Pacific Federal Credit Union. How can they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of us. We have 3 offices here. Main office is 834-4579. And you can call me directly if you'd like.
And a website that they can find you on as well.
And the website is Sierra Pacific FCU. It'll come up on Yahoo and Google and everything else.
Thanks again for joining us. Jim Hunting, Sierra Pacific Federal Credit Union.
Thank you, Mitch.
For more information on this guest, visit the Preferred Business page on our website, tcbatv.com.